Hello everyone, this is Pet Crochets. Welcome back to my channel. Look at these adorable tiny leg warmers I made for my dog. I have a video out on the normal adult size leg warmers and I wanted to make something that was matching with her since I had some leftover yarn. But look how cute they look. We actually went outside like this and it was just so adorable. She tolerated them pretty well. They didn't slip down too much, so I think it's a very quick and easy and cute project and would also make a very nice gift for your pet or friend's pet or family's pet or even a child. I think it would fit anyone really. And you can also make them adult size, so it's a win-win. I also added some small bows on the side of them. This is optional, but I just wanted her to match completely with my leg warmers, and look at that, it's so adorable. It only took around 20 minutes, so I really encourage you if you have a pet to try this video out. Let's get started. So to begin, I took a measurement of my dog's leg, making sure to note where her joint is, where the paw kind of touches the floor, and also took the circumference of her foot. So we're going to be making two cuffs, a bottom cuff and a top cuff, and then the middle portion is going to be the body of the leg warmer. So you want to account for this when we're determining how long we're making the leg warmer. I used a 3.25mm hook and a DK weight 3 yarn. However, you can use any size hook and yarn. For the video demonstration, I'm using a different sized hook. We're going to start off with foundation double crochet stitches. I'm going to have a link up to the video I made for how to do these foundation stitches. This is the double crochet stitch. You're going to want to make sure that you have an odd number of stitches when you finish, and this chain should be able to wrap around the foot or the leg of your pet or whoever you're making this for. So it's the circumference of the leg. You don't want to make it too tight. You want to make it enough that it's roomy because we're going to be making cuffs anyway, so it doesn't have to be too tight. For the next row, we're chaining up one and turning our work, and into every single stitch we're just going to be doing a single crochet. The final single crochet you want to put into that chain at the very end of the row. So when you finish and you count up your stitches, your single crochet stitches, you should have an even number. We're now going to start on the Alpine row, so you're going to chain 2 and turn your work, yarn over, and we're going to go back into that double crochet foundation row we made and do a front post. So you're going to find that double crochet stitch right there, pull your hook through the back and so that you're isolating the post. Pull up a little bit and then do a double crochet. This will create a front post. Now when you look at it from the top and move that post over, you'll see the stitches here. You're skipping one stitch, and into the very next stitch we're doing a double crochet. Now we're going to be doing another front post, so yarn over, we're skipping one of those double crochet posts and we're going to the next one. We're putting our hook through the back, isolating that post, pulling up, and then doing a double crochet. You're going to turn it over. Now you're going to skip a stitch, find that next stitch at the top, and then do a regular double crochet. We pull up so that those front posts don't get too tight and clumped up. I'm going to show you one more time. So we're skipping one of those double crochet posts. We're going to the next one. We're putting our hook behind it, pulling up, and then doing a double crochet. And then we're doing a regular double crochet. We're skipping a stitch at the top, going into the next stitch and doing a double crochet. This is the pattern you're going to repeat to the end. When we get to the end, we finish with a regular double crochet and we have one stitch left. Into that final stitch, we're just doing one double crochet. So you're actually ending with 2 double crochets at the top there. These are what the posts are going to look like. Now we're chaining 1 and turning our work, and we're doing our row of single crochet. So into every single stitch, we're going to be doing a single crochet. At this point, if you want, you can count the stitches. You want to make sure you have an even number. That very last single crochet is going to go into the top of that chain 2 right there. Now we're chaining 2 and turning our work, and once again we're doing these Alpine stitch row. The next Alpine stitch row is basically going to be the opposite of the previous Alpine row that we made. So since we started with the front post stitch, we're going to be placing a double crochet into the top of that stitch. So the next stitch, we're placing a double crochet, we're yarning over, and now the previous row we did just a regular double crochet. So into that regular double crochet or that post, we're going to do the front post. So we're going to pull up slightly and then do a front post. And then from here, you can kind of turn the work over and continue the pattern of skipping one stitch, and into the next stitch, you're going to do a double crochet, yarn over, and now you can clearly see where you need to be putting those front posts, but it's going to be that little depression, that little groove between the posts on the previous row. That was where we did the double crochet in between the front posts. So you're going to be placing the front post where we did a double crochet, and then where we did the front post, we're going to be placing a double crochet on top. So you're doing the opposite of what you did in the previous row. We ended the previous row with 2 double crochets. However, we started this row with 2 double crochets because that chain up of 2 counts as a stitch, and then into the next stitch we did a double crochet. So this row ends with just 1 double crochet. So we did the front post, and now we're doing that final double crochet after skipping that stitch. And that will end this second row, and now you can clearly see the Alpine stitch, and we're repeating the pattern. So you're going to do a row of single crochet in between those Alpine rows, and you're going to do the opposite of what you did in the previous row. So you can kind of clearly see what you did in the previous rows. So if you did a front post, you're doing a regular double crochet stitch on top. If you did a double crochet stitch, you're doing a front post. You're going to continue this, and you want to end on a single crochet row until it's the height that you desire for the leg warmer. We're now going to start on the cuff. We're starting with the top cuff, which I like to be a little bit larger than the bottom one. So I'm chaining up 5. This is the top cuff area. And then you want to do 1 extra chain. This is going to be your turning chain. Now into the second chain from the hook, you're going to place your hook in and do a single crochet. And you're just going to single crochet all the way down this chain. So for me, that's 5 stitches total. Once you reach the base, you're going to slip stitch into the second and third stitch on the top of your leg warmer. So here's the second stitch. We're not going to the first because that is attached to this chain. So we did 2 slip stitches, and that will count as our turning chain, and we're going to turn and start working up against that cuff again. Now for the remainder of this cuff portion, we're working just into the back loops. Make sure you're working into the stitches on that cuff. So it should be 5 stitches for me, and you're going to single crochet into the back loops only all the way to the end. Once you reach the end, you're going to chain up 1 and turn your work and start working back down towards the base of the leg warmer. You're going to place your hook into the back loops and do back loop only single crochets all the way down the cuff row until you once again reach the base of the leg warmer, where you will be doing a slip stitch into those next 2 stitches, and that will count as your turning chain. And this is the pattern you're going to keep repeating. So you're going to do 2 slip stitches at the base, turn your work, and start working down along the cuff by doing back loop only single crochets. At the end, chain 1, turn, and keep going all the way across until you reach the end. Now that we've finished the top cuff, we're going to start working on the bottom cuff. So to do that, I didn't want to have to take my hook out and put the yarn back in, so I just slip stitched down the side of the leg warmer until I reach the other corner, and from here I can start working on the bottom cuff. Now you're going to make a smaller chain if you so desire. I want to make a smaller chain, so I did 3 plus 1 for the turning chain, so I did 4 chains total. And then we're doing the same thing. We're going to the second chain from the hook, working down, making single crochets. So for me, that's 3 single crochets. And then when you reach the base, you do the 2 slip stitches, and I did that all the way down and continued the pattern. At the end, you can chain up 1, cut the yarn and pull it through to secure. And this is what the inside or the back side looks like. And the front side will be the Alpine stitch. Look how beautiful that texture is. We're going to fold this inside out so the Alpine stitch is going to be on the inside, and we're now going to seam up that open side. You're going to do this by putting your hook through both sides, the corner stitch on both sides, and pulling a slip knot through those 2 stitches in the corner. Once you do that, you're going to chain up 1, and now we're going to go through both stitches on both sides of this seam here and do single crochet, and that will close up that open side. If you want, you can use stitch markers to make sure that everything's lined up evenly, but because this is so small, I was able to just go all the way down. So you're just going to keep making single crochets. You want to make sure that the hook goes through both stitches on both sides. And you're going to continue this all the way down. Once you reach the end, you can do 1 extra chain, cut the yarn and pull it through. And this is what the leg warmers look like. You're going to repeat the steps for a second one and weave in all of the loose ends. For the bows, I just made a really long chain and tied it to the leg warmers into this bow shape. And then that's it. It's really simple, quick and easy project. It took about 10 minutes for each leg warmer. If you want to make an adult size version, check out my other video and just switch out the almond stitch I used for the adult size one with this Alpine stitching. If you like my videos, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I have many more tutorials on the way, and I do plan on making more dog related crochet items, so stay tuned if you have a pet. Okay everyone, see you in the next video. Bye!